Hello, people. Hello, hello. It's the 16th of June, Friday. Cheers and hello and much love to everyone. How are you doing? How am I doing? Well, a little bit haggard this morning because I went to a performance last night. It was really good. And similar to when I have a good performance, I had a hard time sleeping. So, little blurry-eyed. I do appreciate the feedback on the music and the music videos. Specifically the music, though. You know, the visuals are my attempt to put them in a framework of what it means to me. And it's obviously working, that it's getting across the beauty, the feeling, the sublimeness of it. Thank you for telling me, folks. I love it. So I mentioned to you that I had met recently the artist Victoria Shen. She goes by the name Evicshen. She is currently one of the resident artists for the summer at Bemis. And they had an event last night, some sort of, it wasn't a fundraiser, it was some sort of seemingly celebration. And Evicshen was the concert event for it. But excuse me, I went down to see for the performance, and there was a lot of people there, a lot of people with money. It was obvious that a lot of the people on the board and people who are donors, big donors, were there. There was a lot of drinking going on. And I don't go out a lot, you know, I don't. And so I'm always struck. I'm not used, still not, I don't take it for granted at all. I'm a local celebrity. I don't think of myself that way. When I go out to things like last night, it becomes apparent. It's like all these people know who I am. I don't know who they are. The big wigs come up to me. Matter of fact, I got a gig out of it for next year. That's one other thing that is kind of nice, is that when I do go to things, if I show up, something usually happens. I appreciate that very much. But to talk about sound and art and music, Evicshen, Victoria Shen, this is her album, Hair Birth. Now, there's a limited edition version of this that comes with a copper plate on the front that you can actually play the record with. Those have been long gone. We talked about that when I met up with her about a week or two ago. This is sound work, and some people would say it's pure noise. This is pretty cool. This is a limited edition reissue of the album on red vinyl. Now, I already have told you that I like sound. Have ever since I was a kid. And so I enjoy noise, good noise. And this is good noise. This is really creative. She was really something to experience live. She's very physical. And besides a couple of modular synthesizers that she uses with no keyboards, everything else is stuff that she built. She has these interesting turntables. They're not really turntables, but they're spinning devices, and she plays the records with her fingernails and other things. And it was just really very inspiring. The other thing that I liked about the event was how Since the event was tied to a larger thing going on at the Bemis, there was a large audience, and some people left her performance. It was, to me, it was obvious this was too much for them. It was loud, but there were a lot of black people, a lot of people of color, and little kids who stayed and got into it. And she's really brave. She jumps up on the table. She's very physical with the things that she does. She pushed the table into the audience. At one point, she pushed the table so far into the audience, a person ended up underneath the table. And then towards the end, she pushed the table to the point where I was behind the table with her. So I was kind of like sitting there. I wasn't part of it. And it's like I was respectful of that. But it's like I ended up being right there next to her at the table. It was pretty cool. Pictures on my Facebook page you can see, and also on Instagram. It was inspiring, actually. And I'll probably, we'll get to it later, okay? Talk of working with Victoria. My ears are a little buzzy today. I'm just accepting it. Some days are better than others. So I misspoke. Tommy Emmy, who is a big record collector in Omaha, and he's on Facebook a lot. I posted the Favorite Visions by Sakamoto, and he pointed out to me that the cover is almost like Herbie Hancock. He was right. I'd forgotten. Should have pulled it. See the similarity? Both Better Days. This is a Japanese release on Better Days, and this is Columbia. But I made the connection since they've both been on the Columbia label. Thought I'd point that out. So I've dipped into the discus already just a bit. I haven't played the Das Rad yet, but I listened to the first 3 cuts on the Ron Caines Martin Archer Axis. And this gets a hearty thumbs up for you people that love to listen. I love how this starts. It starts off with a piece called Street Drums, and that's what you hear. It sounds like it was recorded like a field recording. And the first thing you hear is that unmistakable tone and sound of Ron Caines' saxophone. It was a feature besides the fiddle in East of Eden. His sax playing. Love that band. More trivia. Some of you already know. The band East of Eden, their fiddle player is the guy that played violin on The Who's hit Baba O'Reilly. So this is good. I can heartily recommend, on the basis of the music and the art, Discus Music releases. Not because they've worked with me, but because they are kindred spirits in the arts. This is a winner. I've only played 1 disc, but this is hot. Anthropology Band live. Martin Archer and a bunch of folks. This has fire. If you see this, Martin, I'm giving you a thumbs up. This is the most fiery thing I've heard from you. And what I mean by that is that you guys are playing live, and thankfully you go for it. You go for it. You try to take it up. You try to build a fire. You try to make energy rise, and you do. It happens on here. It really does. I was like, oh, okay. I got to give props to the guitarist, Anton Hunter, on the first piece that I've listened to. I'm not going to look up the titles, because when he took his solo, to my ears, it's just the first listen, but my first impression was, okay, he isn't playing around and he wants something to happen, and he makes it. He pushes, and his solo gets hotter, And then when the saxophones and the other people come in, they get sparked, and there's some good blowing on that. So this is a good new release by Discus Music. Anthropology Band, Scald, Live 2022. Yeah, I can recommend that. Something else that got played yesterday, because part of the day I spent just familiarizing myself with a couple of new tunes I'm going to be playing with David Nance in Lincoln this Saturday. And I like that about David too, is that he's just real off the cuff and just real, this is what we're doing. And he'll change, and he does it a lot. We'll be doing a song and we learn it, and then he'll change the key. Oh, I think it'll sound better if I do it, sing it here. Thank goodness I know how to I can transpose by ear. You know, again, I told you I innately have an understanding of music theory, but when people start talking that mathematical stuff, I'm lost. But I can play it. So I spent part of the day just learning a couple of new songs for me that we're going to play on Saturday. Looking forward to it. Looking forward to it. So another album that I pulled, kind of a blind pull. It was like I was pulling for something else, and this popped out, and I looked at it and I thought to myself, I don't even remember at all what this sounds like at all. El Bicho Feo, Dave Wayne, came to mind right away. He is the master of cheap heat. This is the kind of record that, and sure enough, when I posted it in the Fraternal Order group, or one of them, there he was. Good album, Cheap Heat. That was his comment. Dan Wall, pianist, with Steve Grossman and these other cats. Song for the Night. Dan Wall came to my attention playing with John Abercrombie. I forget which records. This is good. And it's cheap. It's cheap heat. This is good jazz playing. Specifically, Dan Wall stands out. I love not only his piano playing, but he gives us some arp, omni, and moog solos on here, and they are fresh. They're not imitations of others. They're good. They are good. So it's early again, and today, again, the main thing I have on my mind is this is mundane, but yesterday was laundry day, and mowing the lawn. But today I will focus mainly on familiarizing myself with the two new songs I'm playing with David tomorrow. I like to be able to play well, and so I want to familiarize myself with these songs like I've heard them on the radio. That's been my secret. It's not secret, but that's been my approach to learning music. You know, is like a lot of people. You hear a record and you try to play it. Back in the day, before we had pitch control and stuff, you'd have to play a 45 on 33 and listen to it all slowed down, trying to figure out the changes. Oh, you don't have to do that now. But that's what's on my agenda for the day. It's warm. It's humid. Humidity has gone up these last couple days. I've got the window open. The lamp is right there, but I'm here sharing my life. I'm not here trying to entertain y'all. Okay, so if you get entertained, that's cool, but don't expect me to pander to it, because this is my life. Okay. Yeah. So, I do see that more folks have gone and watched the video for the last video I posted. Freestanding music video. I think it's on the Crest. Folks, that's some of the best music being made in the world today. Right here in this room. Check it out. And I do appreciate that folks are trying to they tell me that the music reminds me of them of this and that One person said that comparisons can be weird. They are weird because I'm not trying to sound like anyone. Mark Isham and John Abercrombie have nothing to do with how I write. They aren't even a subliminal influence on me. They're not. If I were to go through the tracks and tell you if and where there were any outside influences, they'd probably surprise you. But I'm glad that there is a frame of reference for you to appreciate the music. It's very original. Yeah, don't sound like anyone else. And that's an answer to a prayer and a wish that I've had since childhood, that if there's anything I can accomplish in life, I'd like it to be that I come up with some music that's original and good. Job done. We're still working on more though. Ooh, excuse me. Okay, so there aren't any records sitting down here that I haven't showed. So let's do a pull, okay? Let's go down over here. We might be getting into the area where the Residence records are. I even though I did that shift, I still know where everything is. That's the R's down there. Okay, Rachel's. Haven't played this in a while. The band Rachel's. Music for Egon Schiele. Folks know this band and this music. There's almost a classical element to it. Piano, viola, and cello are the primary instruments. Haven't played this in a while. It's mostly really quiet stuff, but good. Rachel's, I've got a couple of their albums. This stays out for a listen. And it's Friday. I have a gig tomorrow, but even though I haven't been working since 2013, I still have a sense of Friday and the weekend. I'm glad. I like Fridays. One thing I'm consciously trying to do is not go to the record store. I bought a new record last night, okay? I bought Evicshen's album. I'm trying to be good with that. It is so hard to save money. It is so hard to keep money in the bank. So that's part of my goal, is to just try and not go to the record store today. I'm not saying I'm going to achieve that, but that is in my mind. It's like I don't need to buy records. All of us, record collectors, none of us need to buy records. It's what we love. And it is absolutely fun to go shop. Well, bringing new records home is what the real fun is. Digging is fun too. This is good this morning. This is sitting, I had this out. Did I mention this the other day? The album UK. Did I show this and talk about this? I played this the other day. Part of it. Because there's some promo videos from when this was made that have been recently posted in high quality on the internet. So I was watching them. Kind of boring just watching them play, because they're lip syncing, But I did talk about this because the first time I heard this was on the radio. It's a fantastic album. UK. What could have been? What could have been? What could have been? Thinking about my family this morning. My brother's situation is not any better out there, and there's nothing I can do. There's nothing I can do for him. I have a feeling that my brother is being hard-headed, though, and that there is a solution to his housing, but he doesn't want to accept it. I'm not out there to say, but that's the picture I'm getting. So I just wish him the best, I wish him the best. Okay, I'm looking at this, and it's like, let me just show it. This is a reissue. There's talk that there's a Ken Hensley, Uriah Heep connection to this album. Might be, might not be. It sounds like it. But I love the cover, and I love the first song on here, which could be a Uriah Heep song. Weed. I know I've shown this before. I love that cover. It is so kitschy and goofy. You know, and that weed. Those are weeds. That's not marijuana. Would have been cool if it was. There we have the illustrious gatefold. Sweet Morning Light. It's a stomper. It's a real good rockin' song. Mick Box, the guitarist, recently had a birthday. I have strong memories. I saw them live twice when I was just like one of the early concerts for me. I think I saw Uriah Heep for the first time. I was only 14. And I was on the side of the stage with Mick Box, and I was riveted to him. He was having so much fun on stage, and he was playing really well, and he was drinking a bottle of Mateus sitting on top of his amp, which I love those old days, you know? Everything's just, you know, loose, and God, they were good. They were good, so... Last thing I'll say is I'm just always looking for signs of awakening in the general populace of this nation, because we are in dire straits now. And it's unfortunate that we have to deal with this megalomaniac, sick man who's taking up so much of the airwaves and so much of the media time, and he's sick. It's flabbergasting how people want to believe those lies or whatever. So I'm just glad that I'm not like that, and I hope that you're not like that. I have a feeling that people who come over here and spend time with me are decent people, where your focus is on life, being good to yourself and to others, and sharing love. That's what's important to me. That's much more important than making money. It really is. That's why, like I said, when I was at the event last night at Bemis, I could just really observe, not only watching them, but feeling the aura, energy coming up with certain people. It's like if I had a choice, I'd have nothing to do with them, because I'm feeling nothing but emptiness. And their behavior, you know, that I'm observing, it's like, yeah, these people are the problem. These rich people, that's this big divide, you know, where you think you got something versus people who don't have nothing, like me. And we just get left behind, you know. Anyway, I hope you're better than that. I hope you're woke, which actually means awake. How pathetic that we live in a time that things are so upside down that there's a whole group of people who think that the idea of being awake and aware is an insult. Woke is very good.